Alright, hello everyone, it's Team Rocket Draws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video guys, we're gonna be drawing Carbink. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how it ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw it, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen, that way it's easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time you guys get all your details. Just keep in mind guys that we are gonna start off by doing a sketch, and then from there on you guys are gonna do your final drawing. So remember to do your lines light. Just like my other tutorials, we're gonna start off by doing a circle, and then we're gonna split it in half both ways. And just remember to do it as perfect as you can guys, that way the tutorial is easier to follow. And by no means is mine perfect, but it's good enough, right? So the better it is, the easier it will be. And just remember to pause the video as you go at your own pace. And right here I'm just erasing some of it, just because I don't like a messy circle guys, because then later on, and you know, it just makes it a little bit harder to see what lines they are. But right here I try to split it right in the middle. Once again, the better that you guys make it, the the easier it'll get. The same thing to the side. There we go. So I think the line's actually a little bit higher than the middle, but it's still, still do the job guys. So good luck with that. Once we have that, we're gonna split each part of the circle, or each of these lines, in half. So from the edge to the middle, we're gonna split each line right there in the middle, where I think it's the middle. And that's just gonna help us do the rest of the drawing. So now that we have that guys, a little bit lower, probably half of half right there. Do another small line right there. This is where we're gonna start by doing a reference line going across right there. And this is actually gonna help us do the fluff around the neck. But before we do that, we're actually gonna work on the head. So if you notice, the head is not even on the circle. It's a little bit more to the right than it is to the left. You guys could base where the bottom of the head is just by the lines that we did earlier, like where we cut it in half, the half we cut in half. And right here I'm just measuring half of the circle. I'm using a spare piece of paper guys, and then starting around there where the head is, we're gonna do a line that's basically the length of half of the circle. We're gonna do another one, and actually that one I got it right, perfect size. And then we're gonna split those lines in half, and then we're gonna do this other line right there, and with the top being longer than the bottom. That's just gonna help us do the ears later on. Now around here guys, we're gonna start by doing one of the fluffs. This is gonna be the main one in the middle. Once again, if you guys notice, it's not even on either side. Now we're gonna actually extend that one outside of the circle, and then just connect it to that line right there. The same thing on this one, but this one actually doesn't go outside of the circle. It's a lot smaller than the other one. Now straight down from that point right there, we're actually gonna do the bottom fluff right here, and it connects to around there, so it doesn't go outside of the circle. Now on this side as well, this one's a little bit higher, it's closer to that line. Alright, so now here in the middle guys of the circle, we're gonna do this triangle shape right there. That's just gonna help us do the rest of the fluff right here, and just round it off guys. Now we're gonna do this, what would you call it, like a diamond shape almost, or like a shield. I don't know what shape you would call that, but that's gonna be one of the gems, the one that's right in the middle. Alright, so now around here guys, we're actually gonna start doing the edge right there. So it's just a bunch of lines right here. If you guys look at the reference, you'll see what I mean. That's basically the top part of the rock. Now around here it actually continues. I go over the line a little bit darker, that way you guys see it over the actual circle line. And then around here in the bottom guys, right under there, basically the middle right there, this is where it's gonna start heading down. So that's why it's having these where we split the half in half guys. This is where it comes in handy. So now right here for the detail, this is probably gonna be one of the parts that's gonna be harder to do, but remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, and just try your best. So I do that reference line right there just to show you guys that they line up on either side, and then you can just connect them to that middle line going down. So if you notice the bottom like stone, I'm just gonna call it like a diamond stone or whatever, the gem actually goes further than the actual circle that we did before, guys, by the way. Now for this one's actually in the inside of the circle. So remember, just pause the video, guys. This is probably the most complicated part of doing Carbink. Now these are just some details, kind of splitting off the light on each of the gems. There we go. Now to finish the side of the body, now there's a gem right there. I believe I made it too big, so I do go back and I do change it. It's actually a lot smaller than the one on the left side. And if you guys notice, mine's, I mean, it's still smaller, but it needs to be a little bit smaller, so I do go back and I just change the size. It just seemed a little off to me, guys. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, just make your drawing yours. If a gem, you know, doesn't turn out right, then just make any changes to yours. It doesn't have to be like the reference, and it doesn't have to be like mine. So alright, so now that we have that, guys, we could actually start doing the top part right here. So it doesn't connect to the fluff. You guys could just use that middle line going across the circle to give you guys an idea where to do that shape. And now we could actually connect the ears. So as long as that they're similar, guys, in size, in shape, and everything, then, you know, by all means, you guys don't even have to do that line that we did earlier, to going through the middle of the ears. As if you guys are able to get the ears without those lines, then go for it, you know. That's just a way, you know, to help some people out and know how long and how big to do the ears. So whatever helps you out. Now just adding some of these lines like I mentioned earlier, these different surface lines on the actual gem. And the actual gem doesn't go higher than the ears, so that's another thing you guys might want to notice. And now for the actual eyes, since I'm really bad at doing eyes, guys, or getting them the same size, I like measuring them. You guys can use a ruler, but I always use just a spare piece of paper. Right here I just use some reference lines just to make it a little bit easier, since they're roughly the same, although the one on the left should be a little bit smaller. But I do them in similar size, and they're basically just these like oval shapes. They're not perfect circles, but I decided just to make it a circle, guys, just to make it a little bit easier on me. And then I do a smaller circle on the top in the inside for the actual like highlight of the eye. And once we have that, guys, we're basically done with Carbink. So now it's just a matter of going around and erasing some of these lines that are not supposed to be there, you know, part of the circle. So I recommend you guys looking at the reference right now just to get a better idea of what lines to keep and which ones to erase. That's why earlier in the video I mentioned that we were going to do a lot of erasing. So hopefully you guys didn't do your lines too dark. And mine right here, you guys, even though I'm erasing them, you can still see them, but I just pressed a little bit harder on my paper. That way it'd be a little bit more noticeable on video, but hopefully you guys didn't press too hard. And just in case you guys did and you guys don't like those lines right there, you guys could always just transfer the drawing into a different paper. You know, a lot of people like to trace it onto a better paper. That way it's a lot cleaner. To be honest, since I'm doing a tutorial, guys, I don't mind. And right here I'm just working on the actual like shape, since it's not like a perfect, it's more like a rough edges, since it is kind of like a rock, right? So it's not like a perfect line. So just, you know, just try to make it a little bit more rough and not too round, because if you guys notice, Carbink doesn't have too many curved lines other than the fluff, right, and the eyes. There's not too many curved lines. And yeah guys, so now that you guys have your sketch, this is the time where if you guys want to make any changes to your sketch, then go ahead, and if anything's noticeable, now's the time. Maybe the eyes, you know, one's bigger than the other one, now's the time to change it. The ears, I think my right ear is a little bit smaller than the left one, but they're similar in size that it's not too noticeable, so I just decided just to leave it like that. And overall I was happy with everything that I placed, so I didn't make too many changes, as you guys noticed. And then I ended up outlining it with the Sharpie, guys, fine tip Sharpie. And then once I did that, I used my Copics to color him in, just laying down those basic colors like the gray and the blues. And then I just went over it with some color pencils, guys, just to give it a little bit more grading and shading. And once I added like the different you know, like on the gray part, I added like a darker gray, just to, you know, that way it could be a little bit noticeable. And then right there you guys see me using a black color pencil just to add some more shade and stuff like that. And it's something that I've been practicing. And overall, guys, I think it came out okay. I used the white gel pen just to add some highlights here and there, but overall, guys, I think it came out pretty decent. It does look a little bit better on paper, guys, in real life than it does here in the video, just because of the effects that I add on the actual video, just to make it a little bit more bright and a little bit more easier to see on video, right? But overall, guys, I'm pretty happy with this, so let me know in the comment section below how yours turned out. Some of the changes that I'm gonna call out on mine would probably be the fluff on the right side. Mine's more of a point, it's kind of like a triangle, you know, and on the actual reference it's more rounded off. It's kind of like an extended egg shape or oval shape. Mine kind of goes into a point. Also on the left side of the fluff, I'm not too happy with the shape right there. Once again, the bottom left one is mine's more of a triangle shape. It kind of ends at a point where it starts going into the rock, and on the reference it's a lot more curved. It's something that I didn't notice, something that I would have changed, but now that I have the overall finished drawing, this is what I'm noticing. Another thing that I would have changed once again would be probably the ear. The one on the right is a little bit smaller than the one on the left, but overall it's still okay. It's not too noticeable, at least hopefully it's not crazy, you know. Hopefully you guys didn't notice that till I mentioned it. But there's just a few things that I would change, guys. And my girlfriend always gets mad at me. She's like, why are you always pointing out your mistakes at the end of the video? Like, why are you so hard on yourself? And I told her, like, no, I'm not hard on myself. I'm just noticing those things that I made a mistake on, that when I was drawing it I didn't notice. And since I'm doing a tutorial, I want people to know what things that, you know, just because if they did it like me, maybe, you know, they still have a chance to, you know, making those changes on theirs to fix that. Doesn't mean that you guys are gonna have the same things, you know what I mean? Everybody's different, everybody's gonna do their drawings different, but you know, if I point out my mistakes, maybe it'll give you guys a little bit more of a heads up and be like, okay, let me check mine, you know what I mean? So overall, it's not to critique myself, it's just to call out my mistakes, and that way you guys could double check yours, you know what I mean, your drawing, your sketch, and make it even that more better, right? But remember, guys, every drawing is gonna be different, so everybody is gonna do things differently. Doesn't mean that your ears are gonna be different size. Probably you guys did your ears better than mine, but it just gives you an idea, right? So overall, guys, I'm pretty happy with it nonetheless, without even pointing those mistakes out, without literally having the reference on there. Like, I don't see too much wrong with it other than the ear. The ear is just getting me right now. It's just way too small. But other than that, like those mistakes that I called out on the fluff, it's not too noticeable without even looking at the reference side by side, right? Just having it side by side, it's a lot more noticeable. But overall, guys, I'm pretty happy with this. So let me know in the comment section below how yours turned out, and also don't forget to leave a like, and also to check out my other tutorials, guys. I got over 150 tutorials, so make sure to go check them out. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just check you guys out on the next one. Team Rocket Draws out.